Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for Europe does, and then with a love this storm, every foe says to fair, and there was a strife. You, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like we soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for Europe does, and then with a love this storm, every foe says to fair, and there was a strife. You, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like we soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for Europe dance, and then with a love this storm. Every phone says to bed, every was a stretch. You, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like a soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real dance, and then with a love this storm. Every phone says to bed, every was a stretch. You, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like a soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real dance, and then with a love this storm. Every phone says to bed, every was a stretch. You, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like a soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the
Yes, people, I know you can see me. It looks like I have an issue with the system in the back end, but I think since it's still broadcasting properly, what I see in the back end is not an issue. But once again, welcome to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome to another late night show. What could be first of many late night shows on Chelsea Perspective. And apologies, the streams will be sporadic, maybe, if that's the language you prefer, as we still seek the perfect timing for the shows. But that's by the way, we have a few things lined up this evening. We'll talk about Jadon Sancho, the dilemma of Ben Chilwell. Ben Chilwell, his case, not so much of an issue, but Raheem Sterling. We'll talk about the comparison, you could say, nonsensical comparison of Andrea Santos and Enzo Fernandez. Both are players of different profiles. But that's by the way, I do hope you're all doing well. Once again, I appreciate you all finding the time to join me this particular evening. As you're doing so, please drop a like on the stream and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The first person we have here is the Maya Fawole, who here says, okay, that's your business. Tosin is a squad player. If that's how you see it, good for you. Enjoy it. I don't want to start an argument with you, and you're on papers doing that to see what I'd say back to you. He's not that guy losing to under 21, so that's where your judgment is come. That's what drives your judgment of him now. And the most crazy thing about you is that you switch your opinions like this, unfortunately. But that's by the way, I'm not gonna stop you from judging him because they lost to the under 21. I read a lot of nonsense on X. Club friendlies, in-house club friendlies, it's not a new thing. It happens all the time. So because somehow it leaked that somehow somebody that was there leaked to the public that Maresca wasn't happy that his team lost to the under 21s. That is, even if that's the truth, and people are losing their shit on X and social media, it's absolute nonsense. I don't think that's the first time the first team have lost a game to the youth team. After all, if you want to bring up that argument, what we have is a youth team actually. But because people hate Maresca, a lot of people don't support him. Once they saw that, they took it and they're running with it. It's absolute nonsense. I don't care who started. I don't care whether they were beaten by 10 goals to nothing, because it doesn't matter. He probably was experimenting, or the big boys were probably playing it safe. It doesn't freaking matter how they played on the day. The only thing I needed to hear was that it was an in-house friendly, the first team with the youth team. Yeah, as long as it was a friendly, even if it was with the Manchester United Southern 11, it doesn't freaking matter to me. All I want to see is beat Tottenham. That's it. And people were all over X screaming as if, yeah, we had already played Tottenham and lost to them by 3 goals to nothing, which is absolute nonsense. So if you want to be a baby about it, you go ahead. It's your business. I don't care. I respect your opinion. But if you want to cry about the first team losing to our own youth team, whether it was under 12s, I don't freaking care. So I don't stress myself over nonsense, really. Nice to see you, Mahan. I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time joining us. And if you haven't, please take a second, drop a like on the stream. And if you're following the show, because it's a vertical stream, just press and hold the screen for just about a second. Then you see the options to like, comment, or dislike the video. But we prefer likes. Please do that for us and help us garner as many likes as possible. Currently it's showing 0. I don't believe that. Probably there's something wrong with the system. But despite very nice to see you. If you haven't, please be sure to subscribe to our channel. I might go out and come back into the studio. That's because my screen is not showing properly, and I'm not sure why that is the case. We don't want layout. I've talked about that 1,000 times. But let's get to discussing to the items we have. Okay, you're seeing that on the screen already. Let's start with Jonathan David. We had that conversation during the Chelsea Alliance show, aka the Blue Alliance show. I told Dante I wouldn't mind Jonathan David, his experience, and he's a fine finisher. But Dante did present a counter argument where he says most of his goals are tappings and penalty goals. I think he did say something to that effect. For me, if we're looking to sign a player in the mold of a second striker, I think he'd be a good signing for us. And the fact that he'd be would sign him as a free agent, I said bring him, add him to our squad. He'd be a good squad player and probably a good one at that. Just create the chances. Once he gets to him, I think he put majority of the chances you create for him away. If Nkunku, and that's especially I want that to happen, especially if for certain that Nkunku leaves, and it looks like that may well be the case come the summer transfer window. Jonathan David, DJ loves him so much, and I do like him as a finisher. But something that Dante mentioned that I haven't paid attention to is the fact that off the ball, he's basically another Nkunku. Lazy, doesn't press effectively, and isn't the sort of number nine or even second striker that Maresca would want in his team. In the case of Rafael Leao, I've talked about that 1,000 times, but it just looks as if the news isn't going away. Before we talk about Rafael Leao, let's look at this here, which reads that Newcastle have joined Manchester United, Tottenham, West Ham, Chelsea, and Liverpool in expressing their interest in Leo, goal machine Jonathan David. Here's the thing: he's a good player. And the truth remains that all these clubs are interested because he's a free agent. And probably, I think it was difficult for him to leave Leo, which was why he had to run down his contract to force a move. I don't think they would want him to leave. He's been one of their best finishers for a while now. But I'm starting again realize it's important that I take a step back and pay attention to what Dante did mention during that Chelsea Alliance show, where he talked about Jonathan David being a lazy player, that he's basically another Nkunku off the ball. They have all the areas where they differ, but I'm not going to get into that right now. So let's move on to the next item. Rafael Leao, a player I liked so much, and until at the time when people, again, that was 3 years ago, when people were arguing that pushing that for Chelsea to sign him, and were arguing, did mention, a lot of people did talk about, were concerned at the time about his off the ball behavior. And I was telling them at the time that it doesn't matter. I think how he plays comes down to the manager's demand. But I've watched him a lot more to realize I don't think he changes. I don't think he changes. His behavior off the ball will almost always be an issue in the Premier League, and especially for a manager like Enzo Maresca, who likes all his players to be good at pressing. That's a huge part of his game. So Leao, as good as he is, he can be explosive, but defensively, don't expect a lot from him. Unfortunately, as good as he is, and I liked him. I wouldn't say I don't like him right now, but that aspect of his game is a huge concern for me. I wouldn't like us to sign a player that should we sign will become a liability for us, especially in the Premier League. Will he do well in Europe for us? Absolutely. Just like Nkunku did well for us in Europe, Kai Havertz was excellent for us in Europe, but in the Premier League, he did struggle quite a lot. We've had a few players who were like that for us. But in the case of Rafael Leao, I don't even believe the news. But let's read what it says there. That will give us context. So we have a proper understanding of what's going on here. The news item from Chelsea Dodgers reads, Chelsea have been evaluating the possibility of presenting an offer for Rafael Leao for months. They will try to use the support of super agent Jorge Mendes, but are aware Milan wouldn't even start talks for less than £83 million. Here's the thing. First of all, I think this is absolute horse dung. I don't think we'll be looking to pay that much money for Rafael Leao. More importantly, something else to bear in mind is this: he doesn't play in a position of priority for us. We have you could argue we have enough wingers right now, and we don't want one more, especially one that will cost us 83 million pounds. It's a no-go area, in my opinion. I don't see that happening. Um, if you think it's possible, no. And look at the source. 86 underscore Longo. That's the first time I'm seeing it. We did address this particular report during the Chelsea Alliance show, but I didn't pay attention to the source. It's absolute horse dunk, in my opinion. It doesn't make sense. I don't think he'd have shortage of parties interested in his signature, and we've already heard that Barcelona are interested in signing him. Plus, I don't. It's not going to happen. Absolutely not going to happen. Not in the Premier League. I don't. I think he'd struggle in the Premier League, in my opinion. Chances are he comes and changes, but I don't think we're really interested. That for me is absolute boohoo news, for lack of a more relatable language. I apologize. So let's go news hunting, and for news hunting, we're going to Vincent's X feed, my bro. Let's see what we have there. That's at the start, the very top. 20-year-old captain who is on loan. I think Vic is just looking for something that Chelsea fans will cry about. Had he not gone on loan, do you think he'd play as many games as he's played so far this season at Chelsea? So it was a good idea for him to have gone on loan, and I'm glad to have heard that he was the one that opted to go out on loan 2 seasons in a row, and look, it's paid off. Now, if he's coming back on his terms. He's coming back with guarantee that he'd start. You can say, let's just stick with ample amount of games or good enough amount of games. He's not gonna come back with you telling him he has to come fight for his place. You'd still say that, but you'd guarantee him a certain amount of game, because he's proven that there's a solid argument that actually he'd do better than some of the players we have in the Premier League. Before we move away from Andrey Santos, I've heard tons of people, a lot of Chelsea fans, talk about how the moment he comes back, that's it for Enzo Fernández. That is just absolute nonsense. That argument doesn't make sense. His profile differs from that of Enzo Fernández. They're not the same. Enzo Fernández is more of you could say overall. Enzo Fernández is overall a deep lying playmaker, aka the deeper he plays, the more effective he'd be in a game. That's not to say play him further forward or closer to the final third that he's not going to be effective, but he will not be. He would have a lot more. He'd have a lot more. Enzo Fernández will have a lot more to offer if you play him deeper. So Enzo Fernández, a deep lying playmaker. You can call him a regista. He has excellent vision. He has excellent vision. He can help you dictate the tempo of a game, which you can say Andrey Santos can do that, but not at the again. It's not the biggest part of his game, if you get my point. So they're different. But after saying that Enzo Fernández can help you dictate the tempo of a game, long range passing is excellent. He has excellent vision, excellent passing range. Progressing the ball under pressure, he's excellent at that. His vision plus range, all those things are his stuff. Those things define Enzo Fernández. Weakness, defensive duels. That's not his strongest tool, and also doesn't thrive as a pure DM. We know that he's not. If you knew him before he joined Chelsea, you'd know that. Yeah, the DM role is not his thing. If you play him there, then you're basically employing him as a register, not a traditional DM. Okay, now what about Andrey Santos? Santos, box to box, defensive 8 or hybrid of 8 and 6. That's his thing. So we can actually have him and Enzo Fernández on the same pitch, and he can actually operate as a traditional DM. Yeah, he can be physical. He's you can say more aggressive than Enzo Fernández. But one thing he doesn't have is the ability to dictate the pace of a game like Enzo Fernández can. Passing range, he cannot measure Enzo Fernández. He arrives more in the box than Enzo Fernández does. He's a box-to-box midfielder. So for him, at most, he's a hybrid of 8 and 6 and can do a lot more defensively than Enzo Fernandez can do. But unfortunately, some Chelsea fans that see things only on a surface level will always, almost always tell you that the moment Santos returns, Enzo Fernandez is gone. If that's the plan, then we're losing something. I get it. Andrey Santos brings something you could argue we don't have now. But if we let Enzo Fernandez go because Andrey Santos is back, is coming back, then we lose something too. We'll lose one of the only players we have capable of dictating the pace of a game that has, you can say, I don't think anybody's vision at Chelsea measures that of Enzo Fernandez. So we're blessed to have both. They complement each other. Both can actually start at the same time, with Andrey Santos being the one charged with the responsibility to screen our defensive line or protect our defensive line. So I don't know why people are arguing the moment he comes back, Enzo Fernandez is done. Not going to happen. If Enzo Fernandez ends up leaving Chelsea, or maybe pushes to leave Chelsea, it'd be because probably he realizes that he's not respected here. We don't value him. And I tell you right now, should he decide to leave, there will not be shortage of clubs interested in signing him. He's a winner. He's proven that. He's a leader. I don't need to tell you that. We were telling people even before Enzo Maresca made him the vice captain. Yeah. But despite the way, so my point is we should be celebrating both players. We're lucky to have them both. We shouldn't be saying the moment Santos comes back, Enzo Fernandez is gone. No, they're not the same. Their profile is distinct. They don't. Enzo Fernandez cannot be Andrey Santos, and vice versa. AKA Andrey Santos cannot be Enzo Fernandez. It's really that simple. But unfortunately, a lot of people will still go with that. But that's by the way. Let's see what else we have here. Shrez is saying Kendra Pies to loan on Strasbourg. It's a question. It's a very difficult one. And I'd rather him go out on loan to Strasbourg because he's very young. And at this age, he needs to play week in, week out to continue to develop properly. I don't think it makes sense to keep him at the club and then have him play only a few games here and there. Even though he still do well, I don't think he'd be developing properly. So I would send him there as long as he's guaranteed to start games week in, week out. I think he would be better of doing that. But we did address a particular report a few days ago, something to the effect of he will be with us at the Club World Cup in the United States, but we didn't state what's going to happen to him after the Club World Cup. But let's see. I think probably that. I think it makes sense. I think it will make perfect sense for him to go on loan to Strasbourg, where he'd get to play a lot more. At Chelsea, I think the space is tight, really, really tight. AB, nice to see you. Big up to you too. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular evening. It is 5:57 p.m. CST, Central Standard Time. I don't think Santos can challenge Casado, Lavia, Enzo, or Reece James in our midfield. I think James in the midfield was a temporary thing. We needed some measure of, you can say, calmness and leadership. The manager had to do that, but unfortunately, a lot of people were bent all out of shape because the manager had him play in the midfield. But you could argue their descent for Reece James being deployed in the midfield area was driven by the manager's comments that he's always seen Reece James as a midfielder. For me, the comment at the time was just to motivate me, Reece James to be at his best in the midfield area, in my opinion. But that's by the way. Let's see what happens. Andrey Santos, if he comes back, I think he'd have a place. How we'll manage to ensure he plays enough game time, enough games to be happy, I don't know. That's a manager's job and the club to figure out, really. But I'd like him back. He's different. And if we finish well, and finish in the top four and be certain that we'll be participating in the next edition of the Champions League. Yeah, probably we'd have enough amount of games to share between the players and still keep them happy. But eventually, one of the players, high profile names, will eventually, definitely will eventually make way because we can't keep them all happy. That's the sort of the issue that will definitely emerge when you have top talents such as Andrey Santos, Romeo Lavia, Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo. We still have a Sugo. We still have a Matisse, the one we signed up from the French club. So we have talents there. What we do with them, I don't know. We figured it out. And if here's the thing, here's what I think will happen. If eventually Strasbourg, if they finish the season strongly and achieve and finish in the Champions League spot, I think we can convince Andrés Santos to play one more season there, and I think he'd be happy to play to remain there, lead them in the Champions League, and probably help them sign a few more players to make a stronger side. But there are things that I've read. I need to do my research more to understand that properly. We need to, I think something needs to happen for both Chelsea and Strasbourg to be in the Champions League in the same edition, if that makes sense. A big up to you to information. So nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular evening. More likes, people, more likes. I don't know why we're still stuck with just 2 likes. We can do a lot better than that. I'm quite sure probably we should have a lot more likes. Sometimes there's delays. 6 votes. And 100% of those says, yes, I will like the video now. So probably some have forgotten to like. But we'll still beg for likes because we're not a big account yet. Let's continue the news hunting. What else do we have here? Not anything serious here. That's just Vince following a game in the Spanish league. Georgi Petrovic versus top 5 league goalkeepers. Touches 1, passes first. I don't want to. I really do not want to expand this because usually I'd have to click the back button to go back to where we're news hunting there. Short passes. Wow, first. Short passes completed first, prevented goals second. That is in the entire top 5 leagues. That's excellent. And people aren't happy because the belief is that Chelsea are bent on selling Petrovic. I don't think so. I think he could still come back to Chelsea, and he's improved immensely with regards to his ability on the ball. He doesn't panic, but he's always been like that. I think the issues he had at the time at Chelsea was conceding, you can say, the simplest, easiest of goals, really, in my opinion. Let's see, what else do we have here? Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. 2 likes, we can do much, much better than 2 likes. Giovanni Quenda versus Madura. 1 goal, 1 big chance created, 1 key pass, 1 pass into the final third. 5 touches in the opposition box, 2 of 2 accurate long balls, 2 dribbles, most in the game, 4 out of 9 ground duels won. This is a talent I can't wait to see don the Chelsea shirt. An excellent talent. Still a lot more that I need to learn about him. I need to watch him play full 19 minutes. I haven't done that yet, and I have to be honest here. I'm going by what people, the excitement in the fan base, the moment we got that deal over the line. Anything else? Anything else important here? Frank Lampard saying, Frank Lampard, even going back to Chelsea as interim, it was a really tough time at the club, and I saw a lot of things, and people questioned, like, was it the right thing to do? I am absolutely better for the experience of that, even though it was 6-7 weeks. I don't want to hear what he has to say, in my opinion. We're gonna see as we go news hunting. We'll see a lot of opinions there. Vince, he posts a lot of opinions from football commentators and opposition fans and all that. Manchester United Academy coach Colin Little. I know Cole Palmer's family quite well. I know his dad and his uncle, and we are close to getting Cole Palmer when we were close to getting Cole Palmer when he was 16. Believe it or not, uh, sorry, you missed him. I don't like to listen to such things. This is one of my favorite thing. The best things I read today on X, really, and I'm gonna expand it. Um, that's what a lot of people haven't learned, really. Unfortunately, that's the thing a lot of people haven't learned. But pay attention. I'm gonna read it, and I'm gonna read it as much energy as I can. It reads Simon Jordan. He, aka Todd Bowley, can do as he wants. He can do whatever he wants. You can take and shove it up your behind. He doesn't care. Pay attention again. Simon Jordan says Todd Bowley, can do whatever the heck he wants. The bottom line is that he owns a football club. If you don't like it, don't go. It's as simple as that. And you cannot say they haven't shown good intent. Have they made mistakes? A lot. And I'll be the first to name a few of the mistakes they've made. But unfortunately, people don't seem to understand they have good vision for the club. But we've been spoiled. We want it now. Planning for a prolonged, you could say, domination in the Premier League isn't our thing. We'd rather we win today, sack the manager tomorrow, win in the next 3 years, sack the manager again. We don't want to win consistently. That's how I read the situation. If you don't agree with his principles and you don't want to be involved in it, and you are quite happy to have campaigns standing out there and protesting against everything he does, protesting how much money he spent. I mean, I think I've heard it all. I have too. And this is not a Chelsea fan. The fact is, I'll be the first to tell you I hated them when they fired Thomas Tuchel. And I'm still not happy that they fired him. When I started hearing people at the time arguing that one other club owner, Premier League club owner, who met Bali, I think it was in UAE or somewhere at a certain game, said that if they told us what he did, would fire him too if we owned the club. And I said, F it. I don't care. If you don't tell me what he did that led to you firing him, I still say you're wrong until you tell me what he did. Then that's when I get to decide. Yeah, if I were the owner or one of the owners, I'd fire him too. But don't come try to, you can say, gaslight me by saying if you told me what he did that I'd fire him too. Just shut the heck up if you don't want to tell me. But my point, that's by the way, I'm just letting you know that I don't like everything they've done so far. They've made quite a few mistakes. But one thing I always go back to is that they've shown good intent. They want to do well, but they've gone about it the wrong way. And that reminds me to one of my favorite sayings, which is sincerity is not enough. Why? Because you can be sincerely mistaken. Sometimes you try to help people, but you're probably trying to help them the wrong way. You're doing more damage trying to help them. But that's not the same in this case. But just go with sincerity is not enough because you might be sincerely mistaken. Do they have the intent? Yeah. But have they gone about it the wrong way? A lot of people will argue no. But let's just leave it at that. We're not here to argue that. But this is a delicious comment coming from a person that's not a Chelsea fan, if that makes sense. Our midfield and right wing is loaded, Kuchila. I mean, I agree. So why Leao? So that's why that was the reason why I said the Leao news, in my opinion, is absolute horse dung. I don't believe it for a second. I do not. So we move on. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Man, watching Strasbourg is more better than watching Chelsea nowadays. I mean, it's a solid argument. They're doing well. They are doing well. But let's see where they finish, and I hope they finish. They get to participate in the next edition of the Champions League, and we do what we have to do, the walk around to us being sister clubs and being in the same competition. I read something about what we need to do, what we must do should they qualify for the next edition of the Champions League to avoid getting into trouble. When we get that bridge, we will cross it. That's by the way. Let's move on. But that's an excellent comment right there. Anything else here? Simon Johnson here also says, as things stand, I don't think Chelsea are thinking about discarding Enzo Maresca. Duh. I think it's common sense. I don't want to fight anybody, but I can argue your favorite content creator that, yeah, the struggles we faced, I wasn't surprised. I knew that eventually that period would come. But in my opinion, he's actually managed it effectively. He's changed things around, and changing things around led to us playing boring football. But that boring football was the reason why we started achieving results, scoring lucky goals, winning games by just a lone goal, and on and on. But a lot of people that haven't followed the progress didn't realize that that was the case, which was what Pochettino and Potter didn't do. Tweak things. It doesn't have to be pretty. Change things around. It will become boring. Play with balance, get result, and that's it. And had he not done that, chances are, yeah, we'd be worse off than we are in the table. But that's a small opinion anyway. Let's see what else we have here. Man, I am thinking Strasbourg will finish top four rather than Chelsea. It's a possibility. We could end up finishing even third. We could end up finishing 6, 7, 8. It's a possibility. As long as the league isn't over yet, your opinion may well come to pass. Yeah. And EPL Tav, he's a good coach. He has a great future. I hope he stays for a few seasons before. I think he will. Those clubs that are interested in bringing him to the Premier League, they don't actually measure the sort of they don't actually have the sort of access that Strasbourg has to you can say resources, monetary resources maybe, in my opinion. Like one have only 3 Champions League spots. Yeah. Is it 3? Is it 3? Okay. But still they can get European. Let's just stick with the European football at the moment, but they can still achieve European football. Again, it depends on how they finish the season, but they picked up form, and the signs were always there. Even PSG, they went toe to toe with PSG. There were games that they scored first but ended up losing. That I was telling, I think it was Tebejo or Dante. If he learns how to be at least a bit more pragmatic than usual, that he probably gonna go a long way, because that PSG game, had you can say, approached the game a bit more pragmatic in the second half, I think they would have won that game. If correct me if I'm wrong, they scored 2 goals first. I think so. I can't quite remember how that one panned out, but there were a few games at the time that they scored first and then ended up losing. The signs are good. But that's by the way. What do we have? And this year, as things stands, I don't think Chelsea are thinking about discarding Enzo Maresca. I think he's seen as having a positive first season, even though the results in the last few months have been disappointing. I agree. And if you understand football, you understand why all of a sudden we became boring. You remember how we started the season. Okay, this is another one. 5 hours ago, the Sancho story just don't seem it will not go away. It doesn't look like it's going to go away, unfortunately. This reads from Simon Johnson also, who's saying that he'd be surprised as things stand if Jadon Sancho ends up as a Chelsea player. Wow. So he's suggesting that we'll probably not purchase him. I don't think so. And I'm going to present my argument once again, since the story keeps coming back. First of all, Jadon Sancho represents excellent business. Why? He's English. Irrespective of whether you believe he's done well at Chelsea, he's a good player. Maybe the argument should be the Premier League isn't for him, but I think it is. We've seen flashes of what he's capable of doing. and he struggled at Chelsea in games where the team as a unit struggled. Go watch them all. His struggles aren't in isolation. If you get my point. Let's see what happened to the Zerbi hype. Rosenio, is that how you pronounce his name? Have more points with younger and poorer team. Here's the thing. I was one of those that didn't want to see. I told people I don't want to see the Zerbi at Chelsea. Why? His approach is very exciting, entertaining, progressive. But I told people probably what was the language I used at the time? He has a lot to fix for it to be one that again that can you can say he has a lot to achieve. I think let me just go with he doesn't play with balance, risks a lot and doesn't care. And the fact that he said he doesn't play to win, he plays to enjoy, is reflective of the fact that he's not paying attention to areas that he needs to change things around for his approach to be more productive. Yep. And I'm going to say it once again, he has to be one of the most progressive, one of the most entertaining, exciting managers, but end product is everything in football. Maybe we'll see Santos to Strasbourg. Santos to Strasbourg if they qualify. Yeah, if they qualify, I think it'd be easier to convince him to stay there. Why? He's the captain. I think he will be happy to do that. Yeah. But let's see what else we have. Yeah, Sancho's salary is an issue. Chelsea will not pay his current 250k salary. We may not even pay 100k for him. I think we'll pay 100k plus, but highly incentivized, just like the salary we offer to new signings. I think Sancho will stay at Chelsea, and that's my opinion. He may well end up going to Manchester United, but I think he represents good business. And he will signing. Street and word, CFC wanted Deservi, but he said no and referred CFC to Maresca. I don't agree. He wanted the job. Even his boy Mihailo Mudryk was campaigning for him. When I think there were posts about him being the the manager that we were speaking to with at the time secretly. Mihailo Mudryk liked one of the you could say reports suggesting that Maresca will become Chelsea's next manager at the time. I don't believe so. He wanted Chelsea job. He that's my opinion anyway. You may well be correct, but I don't know. I know I've heard that they are friends. Yeah, that's we've addressed that particular item there. Let's continue the news hunting here. This is a kid I want to see. I can't wait to see this kid don the Chelsea jersey come the 25-26 season. Giovanni Quenda, Chelsea see him as one of the best young wingers in the world, along with Esther Willian and Yamal of Barcelona. They see him that sort of caliber. Okay, nothing new that we know, which is why we moved, you could say, a lot to sign him. Okay, the loans of French midfielder Matisse Amugo and Ecuadorian striker Kendry Pais. Is he a striker? From Chelsea to Strasbourg are almost completed. Yeah, that makes sense. And that would make sure that Strasbourg are still equipped to perform wonders in League R. Anything important? Renato Viega starts for Juventus against Genoa. I think that was a report I saw on Vincent's timeline also. I think it was yesterday, suggesting that Juventus, something to the effect of Viega returning early than scheduled. I would want him back. Do I think if he comes back, he gets to play a centre back at Chelsea? Probably not. Rumors are that we're actually looking to sign more centre backs to me, which means he'd have to settle as a he'd have to settle as a as a left back. Unfortunately for him, if that happens, he'd eventually push to leave Chelsea on a permanent because it seems as if for the Portuguese national team, the only area there's space for him is the centre back area. But at Chelsea, since we're looking to sign more centre backs, it just doesn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense for him to remain at Chelsea. Anything else here? Anything important here? The proposed Mamadou Sarr move from Strasbourg to Chelsea in the summer would be banned by UEFA if both clubs qualify for the same UEFA competition, be it Conference League, God forbid, Europa, or maybe Champions League. But it looks like the kid is the real deal. He's doing really well. I still need to see him more, just like some of the players we signed. I need to see them play 90 minutes. I usually don't like judging players by just watching clips of videos of them doing nice stuff on on YouTube, because someone could equally produce a video of their bloopers, not blooper really, of their errors or maybe or where they suck. But let's see. This one is interesting. This has persisted for, you could argue, two seasons right now. This reads Chelsea are interested in Ousmane Diamonde. The fee could be close to what they paid for Giovanni Quenda. If that's the price, then good. Diamonde, for me, I think he's an excellent defender, and I think he would do well in the Premier League. But let's see. We're still shopping in the same place. While we're at it, let's try and see if we can get Gyökeres. Now, no one hypes pies anymore. I will wait for these kids to kick the ball in the first before in the Premier League before. I believe in them. Seen enough failed wonder kids like Pato, Robinho, etc. But in the case of pies, I think even before the end of even you can say from a few months ago, 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago, he did lose form to a certain extent that people started discussing that he probably will end up going out on loan. But even without that, I don't think it makes sense to bring a kid at his age to Chelsea where he doesn't play good enough games to continue developing properly. At his age, he needs to be playing a lot of games. I get it. I've heard people argue that, for younger players, they get to play here and there, and that will be enough for them. No, for talents like Pies, they need to be playing week in, week out to continue developing at the pace at which they emerged onto the big scenes, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't risk bringing him to Chelsea and he gets only to play cup games. I think that would be detrimental to his development. I'd rather him go out and learn to Strasbourg, and I think he'd be playing quite a lot there. Sporting FC Club value itself. Okay, we may end up giving more to them in player, but better buy club first. I've heard that also we're interested in acquiring Sporting, but let's see what happens there. What else do we have here? Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. And I do remember that was where PSG signed. That was where they signed. What's his name? The guy that's at Manchester United right now. What's his name? The DM went to PSG, didn't work out, and their manager Luis Enrique bashed him publicly, not being able to progress the ball, struggles under pressure, and all that. And at the time, I started telling people we dodged the bullet. I was one of those pushing for the club to sign him, but I think he's improved a bit at United, but still showing signs of struggles. Hasn't adapted up properly. But that's, by the way, what's his name again? Gosh, Urate. Thank you, EPL Tough. That's his name. Yeah. He's struggling at United. I think we've addressed that one. Anything new here? Should we move on? We've addressed that one too. This is a good one here. Bournemouth are keen on signing Kepa on a permanent deal after his excellent season on loan from Chelsea. That's according to Fabrizio Romano, the transfer guru himself. And I've seen a few people argue, barring, you could say, a ridiculous asking price. Do I think we'd ask too much? I'd say no. Remember, we got him to extend his contract by a year. I think that was a smart thing for us to do. Probably, I don't think we get up to 20 million from him. Even if we get 15, that's some money. Um, I think we've gotten out the value for our money from him. There are two competitions you could argue that he won for us on penalties. The European Super Cup, you can argue he won it for us because Edouard Mendy, for me, not good at stopping penalties, but he was excellent on the day. Which one again? I think he won us a Europa Cup on penalties. Was that on the Sari? What under who? Well, not under Sari. Did he? You can argue he won us a Europa Cup, didn't he? Did he win us a Europa Cup? I can't quite remember. Even on the Sari, I think there were games during penalties he helped us win. But here's the thing. I think we've gotten argument. My point is this: I think we've gotten our money's worth. I wouldn't mind us selling him for even you could say 20, 15 million pounds, in my opinion. His experience, and I think they'd be eager to pay that amount of money. But I don't think we sell him for cheap. I wouldn't be surprised if we get something close to 30 million pounds because our owners, they've proven they can risk a lot if they are trying to get a certain amount of money for a player. They usually don't budge. Yeah, people, for instance, when Arsenal made their initial bid for Kai Havertz, people were saying even when Real Madrid came calling for Kai Havertz, and I can't quite remember how much they bid at the time, and people were saying just take it and run. They said nope. Arsenal came with their initial bid. We said nope until they went up to how much? How much did they end up paying for him? Same thing with Mason Mount. We did take United for a ride before accepting how much they paid. Owate is pure destroyer like Casemiro, Enrique, like all his player, ball playing. That's you could say that's the hallmark of his approach. Ball playing, ball retention, ball progression, and I think Owate. Uh, I don't know really why what happened. What led to the fallout between him and Enrique? He bashed him publicly. As per FA law, you cannot send a player on loan if last year on contract. Hence, Chelsea extended by 1 year. Okay, thank you for educating me on that. I didn't know that was the case. But even at that, I think Chelsea will be looking for a lot more money than I've mentioned. Kepa's value will be between 10 to 15 million, around that, not more, probably. I'd be shocked, but I wouldn't be surprised if we can get 20 or so. But even if we sell him for 10, I'm fine. Honestly, we've gotten our money's worth. And Vic, correct me if I'm wrong. And by the way, Vic, I do hope you're doing well. He helped us win two trophies, right? I can't remember, but definitely the European Super Cup. Yeah, he came on for Edouard Mendy and was excellent. Even what competition with it was it that he helped us win a Europa Cup? Um, yeah, I think so. Maybe which was it? I think two trophies. Even maybe in the semifinals. Was it against Frankfurt? I can't quite remember, but my point is that we got our money's worth, in my opinion. He's actually the only thing I didn't like about him was his comments when he left for Real Madrid, and how at the time when we were struggling, the moment Madrid came calling, he turned around and said, "Bye, Felicia." I didn't like that. I actually like him. And in all honesty, you can say copium aside, and my hatred of how he left us at the time where you could argue we needed him as one of our most experienced players at the time, I'd take him over the goalkeepers we have right now. And that's just my opinion. But yeah, let's see what else we have. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I believe he has 5 million an extended contract. Okay, well, let's see. Kepa has 5 million release clause. Okay, that's the RC there. I was like, okay, what are you saying there? Okay, here's where it's something interesting. I think that was what I referenced. If they, Strasbourg, and Chelsea qualify for the same European competition, the Blue Coat would have to pause their involvement in Strasbourg via a trust. There you go. That was what I was looking for. Chelsea and Strasbourg would not be able to transfer players to one another or use a shared scouting database until the end of date of the trust. I mean, if we realize that they're gonna probably finish where they participate in the European competition, we proactively sign some players for them if we can. If there's a transfer window before the end of the season, if you get my point there. I'm looking for something interesting that I say, okay, let's go look at what the comments will say because yeah, I want to start. We want to start the show where fans' opinion. That's what the show will be called. Where we get to read a certain redonkulous report, and then we get to see what Chelsea fans has to say about that particular report, if that makes sense. It's not a big deal. Bluco has to just prove both clubs run independently. Girona and City did it. Yeah, I'm not too concerned. I was never concerned about that. Kepa is 30 years old, and on 150k, it makes no sense that we are paying 50% of his wages. And yes, Kepa was instrumental in cup tournaments that we won with a few PK saves. Yeah, heroic saves. In the Super Cup. I can't quite remember the other competition, whether in the semis or something, or before the final of the other competition that I can't quite remember. To me, not easy. We got our money's worth, in my opinion. But that's, by the way, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Anything else? Yeah, this is another absolute horse donger for news that I'm not sure what to make of. I'm not sure what to make of this particular news. Jules Kunde. Kunde was pictured in London, or maybe pictured in London, and also calling Trevor Chalobah at the time, bro, and everything. And I thought he was gonna become a Chelsea player. But okay, let's read what we have here. It reads, Chelsea's clear priority is to sign a high-level defender who can play as a central defender or fullback, and their main target is Jules Koundé, a player. Okay, I think this probably uses a translator here. A player he already wanted in 2022, a player they already wanted in 2022. They tried to sign in 2022, maybe. But that's, by the way, his thing. I don't believe this. This is one of those horse dung reports. But let's see what Chelsea fans have to say. And I bet you, that's just me. I believe a lot of Chelsea fans would be, you could say, wouldn't want him to come to Chelsea, because there's something that's very common with Chelsea fans. Some will probably, even though it was just pulled out of the deal at the time. Yeah, I think he was he Sevilla? Was it the club he was playing for at the time? I can't quite remember. But let's see what Chelsea fans, what they have to say here. Oh, there you go. I like this one. That's Taber saying who? Interesting. Let's see what else we have here. Top choice for CB is a guy who only plays at right back for club and country. So this is another hilarious response here. So this is absolute nonsense. And Mr. X here, Chelsea JJ, is saying lies. He's slow. He cannot play fullback. Yeah. I knew Chelsea fans wouldn't want him. And I've said there's something that's very common with Chelsea fans, irrespective of whether we pulled out or the player rejected us. They usually don't want that player at the club. No, he turned us down, but that wasn't the case, really. We pulled out. He turned us down, overrated, overpaid, don't help back. Instead, buy their young stars. They cannot afford it. This person is clearly not a nice person. This one. All right, let's see. Never waste time on reading transfer news if sources. Yeah, we're just having fun. For instance, this one, the fun is reading the responses from Chelsea fans. It's really fun to read. That's Sandy Culp. And Wallop is saying that would be a good addition since Fofana is not that consistent. Woohoo. And Kivuyo 247 says fake news in my opinion. I mean, it's absolute horse donger for report. Barca won't sell. I think they sell him if you pay them enough, but probably won't sell him because probably they're paying him chicken change. Yeah, some of them signed a 1,000-year contract For instance, the release clause on Andrea Santos, what's Andres Christensen, former Chelsea academy and player overall. Sorry, and I'm not sure how to correctly phrase that. His current release clause, I think, it's around 400 million euros or something like that. Because Barca at the time, their struggles were um, clear for the whole world to see. So they weren't sure about their future. They were signing players, tying them down with a century contract. Sign everyone except a good striker on a competent CB. That's Eket Pekin. Eket, definitely Nigerian. Eket Houston, don't believe everything you read. This news for me is absolute horse dung. Vince, please, no offense, but sometimes do not post news like this, please. I don't like him. I better go for Silva. Which of the Silvas, Mr. Chelsea? Anything else we have here wouldn't happen unless Barcelona need to sell, and we won't come, and he won't come to Chelsea unless we win the Champions League. We don't want him, and we won't pay his wages. No, I don't think. I think we can actually pay better than Barca right now, in my opinion. Don't we already have that in Viega? Good question. And this person here, Clarence, is saying that Barca ain't selling their right back, and I don't think we're ready to to buy. Um, don't get the hype about this guy. His average. That's according to Pandemic. Who else here? And Blaze X is saying Kunde is no longer a CB. He's not played there for God knows how long. Okay, we need to stop with this unnecessary signing like Felix and Desasi. Don't start blaming the club when in fact, the news itself is absolute horse dung. And Mr. Chukwuma here, the Igbo brother there, is saying joke. A player who is on the verge of contract renewal would choose a move to Chelsea than stay in Barca. He's already established and sure of titles. All right, we're done for that. Let's move on. Let's see anything else from Vince here, Vic, so to speak. Barca may need to move on Kunde. He's on 250k and 3 years left on his current contract, but I doubt he will come to Chelsea, and I doubt we'll look to sign him too. I don't think we'd look to sign him, but that's a small opinion. Andrey Santos was excellent in their last game. No need to read that. Anything else? This was yesterday. Part-time player on the screen here. I hope he recovers and stays fit. Otherwise, I think probably we may well decide to send him out on loan. Nothing else here, but let's talk about the dilemma of the Chelsea dilemma. Ben Chilwell, not much of a dilemma. I think he has about his contract expires next year. I think it'd be easy to sever ties with him. Even if he wants to pay off, I don't think it costs us that much. But in the case of Raheem Obongo Sterling, damn. In the case of Raheem Sterling, the way the whole thing, his you can say took off or started. I wasn't the first person that said that. It was Rodrigo. You know Rodrigo, right? Uh, all right. Raheem Obongo Sterling. Here's where I sensed his was going to be a huge problem. So the moment Enzo Maresca dropped him from the squad, we heard nothing from the club, not from the manager, and then his camp was quick to release a statement. I think suggesting that he was disrespected, something to that effect, suggesting that his plan has always been to stay and help Chelsea win trophies, something to that effect. How I read that the brief or the briefs from his Raheem Sterling's camp at the time was that they understand that he was a serious pain, on Chelsea's you know where. Um, like there's an African saying that says, if you're naked walking around at the beach and a tsetse fly, you know what a tsetse fly is? Lands on your between your legs, you find yourself in a very in a very peculiar maybe situation. Try to deal with the set fly in a hurry, you'd harm yourself. Yeah. Then if you decide to leave it to, you can say, just leave on its own, it bites the life out of you. If you get that. So that was when I realized Raheem Sterling's situation. Well, it has become a serious problem for Chelsea Football Club, because how I read the briefs from Raheem Sterling's camp at the time was that they're telling Chelsea, look, we are. Give me 1 second here. I'm sorry, I'm alone with my boys, so yeah, it's really it's kind of a bit difficult. So I knew that there again that my interpretation of the briefs from Raheem Sterling's camp at the time uh, was that yeah, he's not in a hurry to go anywhere, and he understands that he is a sensor fly on Chelsea's BALLS. Should we decide to in a hurry deal with it, we will hurt ourselves a lot. Then if we decide, okay, you know what? Yeah, let's see, force it, just leave it. It will eventually get tired and fly. Yeah, it will bite the life out of us. Why? Because paying Raheem Sterling off at least 70 million pounds plus. Yeah, 17 million pounds plus at the time, probably a little less right now. Should we decide, okay, how much would you like us? So it will be around 17 million pounds at the time, probably a lot less because he doesn't have again his that's a year, almost a year after that conversation. So right now, after the issue, maybe a year after his you can say his stay at Chelsea became an issue, and so they were making it clear to Chelsea the message, the proper interpretation of the briefs we were getting from Raheem Sterling's camp was that we're not in a hurry to leave, and we understand how seriously you want us to leave, and we know should you decide to pay us off, it costs you more than 60 million pounds. Yeah, that was when I knew Raheem Sterling that he's a huge, humongous problem for Chelsea Football Club. Yep, given his salary, I think I did dig up something here. Let me find that one. That eventually was not so much of an issue actually. Um yeah, in 2022, Raheem Sterling signed a 5-year 84 $84,500,000 contract at Chelsea. The entire year, the entire duration of the contracts with Chelsea FC, including an average annual salary of $16,900,000. In 2024, Sterling will earn a base salary of $8,450,000 while carrying a cap hit of 8,450,000 per year. And Heston, it was again, we're still in trouble here. The reason I say Chelsea are still in trouble with regards to Raheem Sterling uh, being a Chelsea player, for me, I think, how old is he right now? I think, let me see, Raheem Sterling age. Let me find that. Let me give you an accurate number. I know he's, yeah, uh, in his 30s. Correct me if I'm wrong. Um, the point I wanted to make is this: Raheem Sterling, in my opinion, yeah, he's 30. To me, he's not being in the greatest of form. At Arsenal, he's 30 already. Yeah, that's according to what I'm looking at here. He's not been in the greatest of form. It looks like things actually got worse. His form got worse after he joined the Arsenal. And when again at the times he's gotten the opportunity to play, he's been awful, unfortunately. So for me, he knows that. Probably not in a hurry to go anywhere. I don't think he's highly motivated to play. You can say to play so well enough to get the attention of Thomas Tuchel to give him another chance to represent England. I don't think that's the case. I don't think he'd be in a hurry to leave Chelsea Football Club. I actually did produce a YouTube short why I explained uh, that, yeah, I don't think he'd be in a hurry to leave. And that's still the case. And I think we will eventually call his camp to the table, have a conversation, and see if we will reach an agreement to release him. But there's no guarantee he'd say, yeah, you know what? Okay, let me compromise here and leave you be. Probably, maybe, chances I would see that because he'd get and invest in businesses and you could say get nearly twice as much, or maybe even who knows, 10 times as much money he'd get in bulk. I don't think it makes sense for him to say, you know what, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here and earning a lot for the rest of my contract. I don't think it makes sense. But it's a complicated situation. It's not that simple. or not? Are you working? Are you working? Are you working? All right, it's working now. I'm not sure what happened, but apologies for that. Would Starling have outperformed Sancho and Mudrik? I don't think there's no way to tell. There's no way to tell, man. Honestly, since he joined Chelsea, I don't think he's shown anything. He showed anything close to the sort of form he showed at Man City. I think you could argue, even though he did well at Man City, he wasn't actually to show the sort of you could say dribble success rate he showed at Liverpool. I'm not sure what happened. He's gotten worse by again after every season. He's gotten worse, and at Chelsea, you can argue he's retired. He plays as a player that's retired and not in. He's not interested in impressing anybody, or even impressing Thomas Tuchel to give him another chance to represent the English national team. I don't see anything like that. Yeah, I'm tired for the day, man. I'm looking to round off now. Raheem Sterling is on £15,000 a week. They cannot release him if they didn't release Kepa last season. Yeah, to release him, it won't be easy. And I don't see Raheem Sterling being in a hurry, agreeing a severance fee. That's not something that's going to be close to 760 million pounds. Because, yeah, the signs weren't good when we started seeing those briefs from his camp saying something to the effect of he's here to help Chelsea win trophies and it's not looking to leave. That was when I knew we were in trouble. And he has nothing to lose. That's what makes it dangerous. He has nothing to lose. Stalin is a rare player. Won us so many trophies in a game, but not even a single club a fan love him. Liverpool, City, Chelsea, no fan like him. He's so self-centric. I'm not going to take my argument to that extent. Yeah, he probably did. But that's why I appreciate you all. And apologies for the timing of the show that's been everywhere. We're still experimenting. A lot changed for me after the move from Las Vegas to Texas. It's been difficult to pin down a particular timing with a lot to consider. But I think I'm getting there. I'm seeing spaces. I've you can say I've allocated spaces to stream and see how the streams will do in those particular times to pick one and then stick with it. But more importantly, thank you. If you have any questions, drop it in the comment section in the chat section, and I'll try to address it. If I cannot, I will pretend I don't see your comment. Okay, we wait. Let's see the Demonat. Do you have any questions for me? Stalin also loves London. His entire family is there. Life there is perfect for Stalin. We are stuck with him. I think that's a delicious comment. Yeah, life is good. 350 plus K a week, and his salary isn't incentivized. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's whether he plays or not, the check comes in. And I'm gonna go back to reminding us the sort of briefs we got from his camp, even before we heard from Maresca that yeah, he's not part of his plans, showed that yeah, he's ready to find a way to get back at the club for what I would say disrespecting him. But I'm not saying we really did disrespecting him. What happened to him is part of football. It's really that simple. Stalin scored 20 goals in the last 3 years, while Sancho scored 3 or 4. I think Stalin has scored as much as Sancho this season as well. That may well be the case. Any other person there, if you have any questions, drop it in the comment section, in the chat section. I'll try to address it. Once again, if I cannot answer your question, I'll pretend I cannot see it. Let's see what else we have here. We are currently paying Starlings at 215K while on loan at Arsenal. That's redonkulous. He's yeah, it's a complicated situation. It's not that simple, but a lot of people didn't know that was the case. In June, he will go back up to 350K a week. No, I think the argument is that we'll start paying the full salary. and Sterling will not be in a hurry to leave, and I don't blame him. Uh, all right, keep dropping the likes on the stream. Any more questions? Any more questions? Otherwise, we will call it a day. Any more questions? I think it's been a fun conversation. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it'd be correct to call it that. A lot of I like reading Chelsea fans' responses. I like reading Chelsea fans' responses to comments on X. I think yeah. I don't know if I should start doing the show or just do a short video on that. Do about 8 minutes. Can 5 to 8 minutes of video on redonkulous reports out there, most of which are transfer reports. All right, he's on 315k. We're paying 215, while Arsenal is paying. But at least that's something, because yeah, he wasn't in a hurry to leave, so we found something to reduce how much we spend on him on weekly basis. Uh, we had to take it at the time, and it was towards the end of that particular transfer window, unfortunately. And I don't think Saudis will come for him. No, he's not been performing at the highest level. Why would they? And the Saudis, they're able to attract younger, better players than Raheem Sterling. So we are definitely stuck. But despite, well, I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular evening. It's currently 6:56 p.m. CST. I appreciate you all. I cannot thank you guys enough. 100k sevens on this wage is nothing. We have we have to play him or sell him. Do you think we will eventually start playing him, because he's going to come back? And I don't see the possible. We just can't sell him. Who will buy him? Except it will be that sort of deal where we continue sharing his salary with the club that will loan him. But selling him on a permanent, I don't see that happening. He's not going to be in a rush to leave. He's not looking to impress Thomas Tuchel to get a chance to represent England again. There are much more better players, crop of players for England's younger players to pick from right now. I know Thomas Tuchel values experience, but I don't think Raheem Sterling has a chance, because he's been in awful form for a while now. So I'm not sure what happens. It's a serious dilemma for us. And signs are, I've talked about this a billion times, he's looking to get back at the club for what which you could call mistreatment of him, which I don't think is the case. It happens in football all the time. We will keep loaning Sterling until, yeah, probably. I think that's the most, you could say, viable solution for us. That's the most viable solution for us. Loan him out, at least cut down the price. I think we'll weigh that. We'll tell him again, but you can't send him out on loan if he doesn't want to go out on loan, especially if it's not looking to impress anybody. It doesn't look it. So it's going to be really difficult. Use him? Maybe. Maybe we decide to use him. After all, Chalobah was called back. And you never know. Anything can happen. We've seen people come back from oblivion and start performing. Use him in a swap deal and offer him a severance check. Adios. It sounds easy. Swap deal for who? Because one thing is this, I think the most difficult sort of deal to pull out in football transfer is a swap deal that includes players. Let's start off the bat. The buying club values the players, you can say the player that's being offered to them at a certain price. And the selling club values the player that's being offered to the buying club at a certain price. That makes it difficult. And if you want a player from the club you want to send your own player to, they value him at a certain price, and certainly, probably in most cases, not how much you value that player. So I think there was, yeah, it hardly, I don't know. I don't remember how many times swap deals has been successful in football, especially when you're talking about clubs like Chelsea, or you could say deals involving high-profile names, because irrespective of how badly again how badly he's played of late, he's still a high-profile name in football. So it's really not that simple, and you know that. It sounds easy, but look at you, even how you phrased it. In For who? The buyout for Sterling is £36 million. That's what a Chelsea owe him. Is that it? It has gone back to that now. I think it was £17 million last 2 years, or last year actually. I think it's, but if it is 36, then it has reduced significantly, because the total of his contract at the time was £88 million plus something around that. And the buyout, yeah, I've addressed that. I don't believe that. I don't think that's correct. I think it's probably a lot more right now, nearly twice as much actually. Nope, never again can he play for Chelsea. I don't want to see Sterling ignore a 1v1. I think at Chelsea, I don't remember ever seeing him finish again with let's say 50% plus dribble success rate. Unfortunately, Leao is an option. Sterling would join Walker. Walker in AC Milan, 60 million plus Sterling, and cut the player a 5 million check. Yeah, it sounds easy, but do you think we want Leao? I don't want Leao. His behavior off the ball is painful, really. But if the club wants him, let's make it work. AC Milan come for a player like Raheem Sterling. It's their thing. They like experienced players, but I don't think they pay too much. I don't think they'd be willing. You say, okay, 60 million plus Sterling to get Leao? I will not do that, really. 350k a week for 2 years. Okay. Okay, let's see. This here says we cannot negotiate Sterling's exit without finding him a club and a little something to encourage him to leave. Forget what you want, coach. You didn't want Felix the Sissi either. I wanted Felix. The Sissi also, I wouldn't say I wanted him. I just heard we wanted him at the time, and I thought maybe a good enough player, I believed. But up close, I realized he panics on the slightest of pressures, which was why we realized probably under Enzo Maresca, he is going to leave. Yep, if you have any questions, drop it in the chat session. Otherwise, we'll be calling it a day in a bit. I appreciate you all. I think I've enjoyed this conversation. And I think what I enjoy the most is that just I alone having a good conversation with you. Honestly, I do like that. I don't think anything new have emerged. I don't think we'd see anything new should we go back to news hunting. I think we've exhausted everything out there. But yeah, nothing new has emerged. I believe that's the case. But if you have any questions, I will give it a few more minutes to see. I think we should call it a day, in my opinion. Vic, thank you for finding the time to join us. I appreciate you. Who else was here? The Demonat, I appreciate you. Who else was here? Thank you. EPL Tough wasn't on mute. The system is actually acting weird. If I show you, it's actually still showing me syncing, allocating some resources while actually it's broadcasting properly as it should. Anything else? With that, we've come to the end of this particular show. I appreciate you all finding the time to be part of the conversation. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and cheers.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world that all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge to our voices to life. We love for the team stand strong by our side.
Every challenge we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real does, and then with a love this storm. Every force is to ver. Apenas estás. You, my heart. Keep the blue flame inside like we soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust. Our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines. Bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge to our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust. Our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines. Bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real of dust, and then with a love this storm. Every phone says to ver. Apenas estás. You, my heart. Keep the blue flame inside like we soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust. Our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines. Bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge to our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust. Our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines. Bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real of dust, and then with a love this storm. Every phone says to ver. Apenas estás. You, my heart. Keep the blue flame inside like we soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust. Our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines. Bright lights up the sky. Unity, our hopes on the rise.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hope's on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for Europe does, and there with a love this storm. Every form says to fair, and there was a strife. How you, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like we soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hope's on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hope's on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for Europe does, and there with a love this storm. Every form says to fair, and there was a strife. How you, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like we soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hope's on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hope's on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for Europe does, and then with a love this storm, every form says to there, and there was a strife. You, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like a soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore.